Yes. So welcome. This is a little preview, of some books that I'm going to be looking forward to reviewing. So the first will be this. It's Christopher Gibbs's book, The Life of Schubert. Okay, that'll be interesting. I've already begun it. Seems quite well researched. This I've read a lot of already, and it's excellent. It's Schubert's Piano Sonatas. It was written in 1969, I think, by Philip Radcliffe, and it is superb. In 1967. Yeah, it's really well written. I don't know who this guy was, but it's Philip Radcliffe. Certainly knows his stuff. On the subject of someone who I think knows his stuff, Alfred Brendel as well, and his music sounded out. I think he knows his stuff. I was never. He was the first person who got me into classical music, really, with his Schubert sonatas, the final three sonatas, and along with Rubinstein's Tchaikovsky and Grieg concertos, basically. But then I fell out. I sort of began to look askance at his work. I didn't, as I understood it, include all of what Schubert wrote, for example, in the first movement of the D960 sonata, or in the Klavierstück number 2, number 1. Well, obviously it doesn't include that crossed out passage in number 1, but number 2 I think there's a shortened version which he does on the recording I had anyway, and there's something else from Schubert which is similar to that. So I felt a little suspicious regarding his the rigor which he had, but that's just. I haven't actually found out that he was right in doing those things, the shortening of the Schubert, for example. But anyway, I really liked his Beethoven cycles, not cycles, but the most popular sonatas for piano, which I got on that Philips disc, that double disc, as well as the Schubert final three sonatas. And I heard him actually live in one of his last concerts in the Royal Albert Hall as his fifth concerto. He did the Klavierstück number 1 as an encore, probably about 2002 or so. So I'll be looking forward to him because he writes very well. I think this is Rachmaninoff. I've done a review on the Shostakovich, one by this publishing house. I think it's this publishing house, which is called Omnibus Press. So there you go. Lots of photographs, and sort of, the print is quite small, and it seems like it's quite good actually. So I will be reviewing that. Then there's also Schubert, a biography of his songs, a biographical study of his songs by Fischer Dieskau. So it couldn't be better, really. And then we've got here this Bach book. I've never read any biography on Bach, so this will be my first, by Parry. So that'll be interesting. And I'll be looking forward to go through the B minus Mass and the Art of Fugue and his Preludes and Fugues, both books, but especially the first Preludes and Fugue at BWV 846, which I've tried to play, and 847, which I've tried to play as well. This Tchaikovsky by David Brown. I think I've read one of David Brown's books on Tchaikovsky already. Anyway, this is the Years of Fame, 1878 to 1893. So I'll be looking forward to looking at that. So it's the Sixth Symphony, and that should be at least the last three symphonies, as far as I'm aware. That'll be interesting. So then we've got Chopin playing. This is the book which has a reference to Peter Feuchtwanger, my old friend and sort of teacher, who goes back to the line of Chopin through Clara Haskell, who goes through Cortot, who had a teacher called, I've got his name right, Émile Descombes. Dicom, don't know. And then there's the Beethoven and Tchaikovsky line teacher is the teacher from Russia who needs no introduction. I've talked about her a lot. But I haven't got another Beethoven book because I just think there's nothing more I can find out about Beethoven. But maybe I'll read. I look forward to reading some famous Beethoven. I wasn't impressed by the Marek book I read about Beethoven, but I'll be looking. What I would love to read is the Czerny book about Beethoven, in which, for example, he says that Beethoven was not deaf when he composed his final piano sonata number 10. What's it called? 111. Yeah, he had an ear trumpet with which he was able to hear that. Okay, so that's a little preview of the books which I hope to a review of which I hope to regale you with at a later date. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.